deep third, and fine leg that you saw on your screen. They do carry a few in the field, don't they? Probably 4 or 5 out there that they're almost trying to hide. Junaid Sadiq down at deep third. No, a loud call from O'Dowd. How do you assess that first innings, Corey? What was the... Was that the tactic from UAE? It kind of felt very intentional, all of their approach.
It felt quite rigid. Felt like that they maybe weren't going with the flow of what the game could have been. They stuck in their ways a bit. In the middle of overs, they really were rooted to the crease and not maybe adventurous enough to try and put a bowler off their line on length. And that's why they fell so far behind. If it wasn't for Parasha coming in down the order with Khan, they really looked like they were only going to hit 150 for a long part of that innings.
Nicely played. It's a square drive, and a square drive of the highest quality. Lovely timing. Really beautiful rhythm and timing from Levitt. Doesn't need to always power the ball. You can use your touch and class right out of the middle of the bat, and it flies for a boundary to get him to double figures. 2 bowled, 13 for none.
Well, might be one of the shots of the day. Not the worst delivery you'll ever see, but that's beautiful. That really is gorgeous from Levitt. A strong boy. The other day, he sort of mustered himself to 30-odd versus Scotland without really finding his form, but that's a good sign for Levitt personally.
Well, after 2 overs of Sanchit Sharma being on the field, it's Asif Khan who returns, which means right now there are 12 fielders out there, and I'm not certain whether either of the 2 umpires have noticed it yet. And now Sanchit Sharma gets the memo. I reckon they could have bowled a ball or 2 there with 12 on. No, the umpires didn't know. It was the fielders that told them to get off.
What is that, 5 penalty runs if something like that happens?
Good question.
Must be 5 penalty runs if you bowl a ball with 12 on. Has to be.
Good question, Corey. Cut away for 4. Bit of width on offer, and O'Dowd, who started very brightly in the last game for the Netherlands 2 days ago, is straight into his work.
Well, one thing the Netherlands didn't give away in the first 25 to 30 overs was width. And really not many freebies. This is a genuine freebie. O'Dowd's never going to miss out on that. That'll get him going to both openers with the boundary. I'm glad you've grabbed the bowl of strawberries. I'm going to have to be honest with myself. I had 1 chocolate brownie and turned into 5. So not really happy with myself. I've got guilt sweats over here.
No, you don't. You're looking good, Corey. Driven again. This time he can't pierce the field. Yeah, to chat with just a couple of the gathered SV Kampong members during the break. They were all a bit perplexed by the UAE approach. The Netherlands bowled well, but they didn't. Like, they dropped 5 catches and missed 4 runouts by our counters.
Yeah, they still restricted them to a score just over 200. It really did feel like UAE showed a little bit too much respect today.
Nicely bowled, good off break that one, and no doubt happy to check it down for the single. You just wonder, did they not take opportunity of those kind of lives that they were given to really kind of... Do you remember the way Rahul Chopra was kind of given a life on that close LBW call, and then he kind of sparked him into action? Asif Khan only got sparked into action when he got to the landmark of the half century, but then from his next 10 or 12 deliveries, he only found 1 boundary. Did hit those couple of big 6s of Paul van Meekeren, but... Oh, now that could have been taken, but it's just to the right of Alishan Sharif, who I'm not sure if his angle's the right one. You don't want to be beaten on your right at extra cover off a spinner. Should have been a bit straighter. It was at a very catchable height, this.
Well, Levitt just trying to create something and give himself width, and that ball was well down the leg side, and he just sort of gets it in front of the man at short cover who didn't move well, and it'll be 4.
If I'm, as I was a spinner, I'm a former spinner now, and played in a long time, but you never wanted your extra cover to be beaten on their right, and you never wanted your mid-wicket, your straight mid-wicket, to be beaten on their left. You didn't mind if they're beating the other side. But that for me came at the exact angle where the extra cover should have been. I thought it was straight to him at first, and a little bit of fortune, you've got to say, for Levitt. That was, what, only 3 yards wide of him, maybe? Nicely bowled by Jawadullah. Could he have got the dive in? He just kind of watched it go by him.
He looked very flat-footed. I think he was a little bit in shock at the angle of the shot, and Well, maybe it was a definite chance. Joe Adula, best ball of his spell so far, just going on with the angle.
Ooh. Good delivery.